We take the environmental aspect of our work very seriously. We have different procedures to make sure the equipment we're using is safe to use and not impacting in a negative way.
The NFLO is a fisheries liaison officer, and they are on the survey vessel while the survey has been carried out, and that fisheries liaison officer has been carrying out extensive engagement with the fishing community for the past 24 months. We've been collecting data on the types of fishing activities that take place on our site. All of this information has allowed us to get a very clear and up-to-date picture of what type of fishing is going on during the survey period, so that we can plan the survey so that we avoid any interaction with the fishing community, and if we do have to interact, that it is minimal. And the key thing for us is that fishing can actually continue while the survey is ongoing. An MMO is a marine mammal observer, and it's their role to carry out visual surveys to detect marine mammals in the waters around the survey vessel each day before the survey actually starts. We know that marine mammals use sound to navigate and to communicate, so we want to make sure that the sound coming from our surveys doesn't have a negative impact on these species, and the role of the marine mammal observer is key to that.
The project in the North Celtic Sea was a large area where we were doing a baseline survey, essentially as much information as we could gather at a very high resolution. If there was a spell of good weather, you want to maximise that time out there. We have an endurance of just over 10 days, so we're 10 days on site. We come in, get stores, get fuel and turn it around as efficiently as we can and straight back out to site. For a 24-hour operation, you could have 2 to 3 people on for 12 hours and then they would hand over to the night shift. And at sea, the logistics can change due to weather forecasts and we have to pause the operation, recover everything before it gets too bad, come in for shelter and be ready to get back out at the earliest opportunity. We work in the lab mainly. We take breaks for food and sleep and washing your clothes or showering or whatever you need. We're very lucky with the chef we have on board and our amenities. The food is always top notch and it makes a big difference when you're spending so much time on site. We have a recreational room where we can watch a movie on our downtime, or sometimes we get a few cards out and play a few games.
We use a suite of different sensors and lots of different equipment to make sure everything's located precisely. We have multi-beam echo sounders mounted to the hull of the ship. They send out a series of sound beams and we can map how deep it is and what the seabed looks like on its surface. We also tow something called a side scan sonar, which also sends sound beams to the surface of the seabed. You also see much more detail, it's much higher resolution. We've got something called a sub-bottom profiler that's mounted to the hull of the ship. We start to see the density changes that equate to different layers of sediment.